still staring. I'd applaud your attention span, but we both know you're just paralyzed by the wreckage. You're waiting for the punchline, aren't you? Hoping that if you watch long enough, a little progress bar will appear to tell you how much longer until greatness arrives. It isn't coming, for the civilized few. Leave your hope at the door. What you're about to see is not a tragedy. It is an inevitability. I am only here to show you how it was built. Let us start at the beginning. We must understand the man to understand the fire. They call him a titan, but he's just a child playing with his father's matches. Born with a golden spoon so far up his backside, it's a wonder he can speak without the clink of precious metal. He didn't build an empire. He inherited a playground and turned it into a graveyard of failed ventures. Stakes, casinos, airlines, all collapsed under the weight of his profound incompetence. He is a breakthrough in failure. Every sweet lie he told was just cheap gold paint on a rotting hull. And yet the mayors of Sodom bowed. Intelligence didn't just sleep, it began its long, dark hibernation. He's the only businessman who could go bankrupt in a house where the odds are mathematically rigged in his favor, and then demand a refund for the dice. Then came the reign of the real axis of evil. Watch the choreography. He scolds Zelensky, a man standing in the breach, like a petulant landlord, while fawning over Putin like a stray dog looking for a scrap of approval. It's a customer subscription to tyranny. And don't forget the cheerleader in the north, Kim Jong-un, sending love letters to a man who thinks diplomacy is something you do on a reality show. They aren't allies. They are a mutual admiration society for predators. This is Donald. Donald lies. When he gets caught wagging his tail for Moscow, he lies about the wagging. And when there is proof, he says someone else lied. The way he stares at dictators, you'd think he was a teenage girl at a boy band concert, but with more spray tan and significantly fewer morals. And while he plays the lapdog for the Kremlin's puppet master, he launches a trade war against his closest allies. He burns the bridges of decades, destroying the very alliances that kept the world stable, all to feed the war chest of his KGB master. Putin laughs in his bunker as the West devours itself from within. And then there is the domestic terror. While the borders bleed, racist ICE agents are unleashed like rabid hounds, terrorizing citizens and turning neighborhoods into hunting grounds. It is a breakthrough in cruelty. And why? To maintain the greatness of a man whose eldest son was sent to Greenland to scout properties, paving the way for a real estate empire built on sovereign soil. It seems blood is thicker than water, and in this family the filthy blood of the golden spoon is thicker than anything else. But we must look at the shadows behind the throne. Enter the son-in-law, the golden boy with the depth of a parking lot puddle. He whispers into the predator's ear, translating feelings and intuitions into global catastrophes. He is the one who sensed an Iranian threat that the entire Pentagon couldn't find on a map. And holding the leash is Benjamin Netanyahu. For decades, he has been the hungry ghost haunting Washington, begging for a war with Iran. He finally found his useful idiot, a man stupid enough to trade American blood for a pat on the head. Look at their shared vision for Gaza. While the world sees a hellscape of rubble, terror, and human agony, these two greedy fools talk of prime real estate. They dreamed of turning Gaza into a Middle Eastern Riviera, a playground for the wealthy built on the graves of the innocent. To them, the scent of death is just the smell of a cleared lot ready for a luxury resort. It is the ultimate sweet lie, a Riviera of blood and bone. So, who are they? The mayors of Sodom. They are the enablers, the profiteers, the ones who see a burning city and wonder how to tax the smoke. They are the evangelists and the Temu ministers who have traded the gospel for a MAGA hat. Look at Hegseth, the Secretary of War, who wears his Jerusalem cross like a brand, preaching a crusade while calling the deaths of American soldiers fake news. They are the ones in the tattered liturgical sheets, blessing the missiles while 168 children are vaporized in a school in Menab. Is that God's plan? Is killing 168 children in the New Testament or the Old? Or is it just the cost of a customer subscription to a faith that worships power over peace? Watching this cabinet navigate a crisis is like watching a group of monkeys try to fix a Swiss watch with a sledgehammer. Did these idiots even know the Strait of Hormuz exists? By choking the world's oil vein, they've handed the keys of the economy to Putin. As the oil stops flowing, the KGB agent's war chest overflows with the profits of a chaos he didn't even have to create. This is the humanitarian and economic catastrophe you voted for. A crisis where the common people pay with their lives while their wallets are bled dry by a greatness they will never see. And now they talk of succession. They say if we just replace the predator with his shadow, J.D. Vance, the air will clear. But let's be honest about the biology of this disaster. Removing Trump and keeping the administration is like shitting your pants and running home to change only your t-shirt. The stench remains. The rot is in the foundation. You cannot fix a messianic cult by swapping the figurehead. Voting for him to save your grocery bills? It was like pissing directly into a gale force wind. Now you're soaked, the bills are higher, and the world is on fire. Donald lies, and when the bodies are counted, he says he started the war to prevent the war. If he's the anointed one, someone clearly used the wrong kind of oil. This looks less like a blessing and more like a massive orange grease fire. You've been watching the Urban Predator Files. We have unmasked the architect of the sweet lie, but the laboratory of greed is never truly closed. The deception did not just ruin a nation's economy. It broke the trust of a generation that wanted to believe in cheaper bread and peaceful skies. Intelligence has not just hibernated, it has been auctioned off to the highest bidder while the KGB laughs at the carnage. Stay tuned for our next investigation into the species of power, because the next generation of Temu ministers is already recalibrating the machine for a new century of delusion. The mayors of Sodom are already identifying their next meal, and the hunt for the desperate never truly ends. Subscribe to the inevitable and watch the curtains fall on the age of the synthetic hero. The fire is rising, and as always, the flames are free of charge.